Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. The Quran and the secrets of magic is an important topic today. Since this topic touches on spirituality, religion, and the mystical, we must treat it with care before we begin. Let's start. The Quran contains a wealth of information about the world of the occult, particularly in Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 101 to 102. The verses describe a group of Jews who rejected Muhammad despite knowing he was a messenger and were accused of abandoning their scriptures and practicing the magic of their ancestors from the time of Solomon. The Quran distinguishes between scripture and the works of devils, implying that their scriptures are free of magic. On the other hand, the Old Testament has a zero-tolerance approach to all forms of magic, while rabbinic texts like the Talmud are full of occult teachings. Examples of occultism in the Talmud include fortune-telling, incantations and witchcraft, as well as the course of the constellations and zodiac, which are all considered punishable by death. Scripture and rabbinic writings are at odds when it comes to the permissibility of magic, just as the Quran states. The verse addresses a group of Jews contemporary to the Prophet Muhammad, claiming that they were following the magic of devils from the time of Solomon. Given that Solomon was from the 10th century BCE and the Quran was revealed in the 7th century CE, this points to a continuous magic tradition of at least 1,500 years. If this is the case, Jewish practitioners would have mastered these dark arts over such a long period of time. Jewish mysticism such as Kabbalah and Jewish numerology known as Gematria have been fundamental to occultism for centuries. Anyone serious about the occult must study these Jewish systems as they are considered foundational. Another Quranic insight can be found in the linguistics of the verse, not the word recited. Devils are said to recite magic, and the use of spoken incantations and invocations is a major part of magic. Madame Blavatsky, a highly influential 19th century mystic, explained that occultists throughout history had used symbols to convey meaning because they feared the real-world effects of the spoken word. The religious and esoteric history of every nation was embedded in symbols, with the power of the spoken word being closely related to the vibrations in the air. Ancient Egyptians and Mesopotamians believed that incantations had to be spoken in a certain way for them to be effective, and the word used to describe one speaking in this manner was lo-hushu, which had a meaning similar to utter murmur or chant. The Quran defends the noble prophet Solomon, clearing him of false accusations of magic. Rabbis and Jewish commentators throughout history have claimed that Solomon was a master magician, but the Quran clarifies that a magical trinket was not the source of Solomon's power. Instead, Allah himself was the source of Solomon's miraculous ability to subjugate devils and control animals. This resolves the confusion within Judaism. The Quran claims that Babylon was a major epicenter for magic, as modern archaeological discoveries have shown that Babylonians laid the foundation for magical practices used all around the world. For example, the Babylonians were the first people to apply myths to constellations and describe the 12 signs of the zodiac. The conquest of Asia by Alexander the Great exposed the Greeks to Babylonian culture, which they took, developed, and spread worldwide. The Quran also claims that the magic of the Jews at the time of Prophet Muhammad had its roots in ancient Babylon. Historical evidence, both textual and archaeological, supports this claim. The Talmud, a written compilation of rabbinic discussions that comprise the foundation of Jewish law, has two different versions produced, the Jerusalem Talmud and the Babylonian Talmud. Scholars have observed that the Babylonian Talmud is comparatively full of references to demons and magic, as seen in the Old Testament book of Ecclesiastes. From an archaeological perspective, the earliest known examples of Jewish mystical texts are Babylonian incantation bowls, which further support the Quran's claim that Jews first learned magic in Babylon. Professor Shaul Schacht's work, The Jewish Aramaic Bowls, contains the earliest examples of cachalot or Jewish mystical texts, named Jewish rabbis and demons, and information about Jewish legal practice. The vast majority of incantation bowls excavated in the Babylonian region are written in Jewish Aramaic, with Mandaean bowls being the second most numerous. Arabic and Persian bowls are also known, indicating that Babylonian Jews were heavily involved in magic. The Quran claims that two angels, Harut and Marut, descended from Babylon and were sent by Allah to teach mankind magic. These angels, Harut and Marut, are believed to have been sent by Allah and given knowledge of magic as a means of testing mankind. There is historical evidence for the existence of the angels, Harut and Marut, and there are striking parallels between the angel Marut and Marduk. Marduk was an ancient Mesopotamian deity who was the chief god of the city of Babylon. He was commonly invoked to ward off demons and was even called the magician of the gods. The Udughal writings contain 16 tablets with incantations for protection against evil demons, with some being hymns to Marduk. The relationship between Marduk and is similar to that of the angel Marut and Allah, with both being subservient and receiving knowledge from higher authorities. The name of the city of Babylon has connotations with the Quranic angels, as it comes from the ancient Mesopotamian word Babylon, which means gate of the gods. This could be a reference to its importance as the site where angels brought magic to mankind. In a creation myth known as Enuma Elish, Marduk is said to have commanded the building of Babylon. It is possible that the angel Marut was transformed into the Babylonian god Marduk due to humanity's tendency to deify mortals, as seen in the Christian elevation of Jesus from human Messiah to God incarnate. Historical records indicate that Marduk greatly grew in stature over time, but the ultimate origins of Marduk remain shrouded in mystery. The relationship between Marduk and is similar to that of the angel Marut and Allah, with both being subservient and receiving knowledge from higher authorities. The Babylonian epic Enuma Elish tells the story of Marduk, a god of wisdom who has taken on 15 names and attributes for humans. He is considered the main god of healing and is believed to have taken on the role of the oracle. The Quran provides unique information about Marduk's relationship with Babylon and magic, which is not mentioned in the Bible or rabbinic texts like the Talmud. The Quran mentions the angel Marut and its links to Babylon and magic, which is not mentioned anywhere in the Bible or rabbinic texts such as the Talmud. The Quran also discusses the separation between a man and his wife, which the people learn from the angels. The children of Israel knew that whoever purchased the magic would not have any share in the hereafter. The Quran also discusses the transactional nature of interactions between magicians and jinn, which is a common thread in all magic traditions. The magician works with spiritual entities to obtain worldly benefits or cause harm to others. In return, the jinn provides a service for the magician. The consequences of engaging in magic are severe, as the magician must sell their soul to comply with the jinn. Magicians refer to their systems as the left-hand path, while conventional religions are referred to as the right-hand path. Islam is the most radical right-hand path system, which seeks submission to a greater force or God. This distinction between the two is based on two main principles: self-deification and challenging normative conventions of morality. The left-hand path involves breaking all taboos to reconstitute themselves as divine beings operating outside the laws and restrictions of man. For example, many religions place prohibitions on menstruating women, prohibiting certain acts of worship, and prohibiting married women from sexual intimacy. However, the follower of the left-hand path intentionally seeks to violate these prohibitions. The Quran condemns magic as a path leading to the greatest evils on earth and eternal hellfire in the hereafter. The short verses of the Quran provide valuable insights into various aspects of the occult, including the Jews of Babylon, the ancient origins of magic, and the interaction between jinn and magicians. Thank you for exploring the Quran and the secrets of magic with us today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content. Wishing you spiritual guidance and blessings until next time.